Brace yourselves for raw honesty, unfiltered opinions, and a whole lot of fun. Tap in, learn, and love. This is On the Couch, where it's all about relationships with your hosts, Cynthia and Marcus Tucker.
Hi, I'm your host, Cynthia Tucker.
And I'm your co-host, Marcus Tucker. We've been married for 33 years. We have 4 children, and we were almost divorced.
But together, we've weathered every storm that's come into our lives.
And we're a wealth of knowledge and wisdom because of the highs and lows of our life and love journey.
So, tap in, learn, and love with us on the couch. You know, over the years, we have gotten so many questions all about relationships. And I kind of thought with the social media influencers, with all of these experts, that the questions would kind of stop, but they haven't.
Actually, they've increased. So today, we're going to not only answer some of the most frequently asked questions, but we're going to give out our Tucker tidbits. This is how we foster and sustain successful relationships.
And we have some very special guests. They're going to give their perspective on relationships. So you don't want to miss this. Let's go.
Let's go. Tucker tidbits. Number 1, communication. More importantly, effective communication. It's when you convey your feelings in an honest, constructive manner that leaves no room for misunderstanding or misinterpretation.
Now, this involves you utilizing active listening skills where you're attentively listening and you're not listening to interrupt. You're not formulating an opinion in your mind so that you can respond. You are literally listening so that you can understand and you can hear.
Also, do not interject.
Number 2, agreement. This is a powerful tool in your relationship. It's when you guys mutually agree. And here is the thing, when you guys can come together in agreement on a thing, on a place, on an action, this gives you purpose. It gives you drive to your relationship.
It's alignment that fosters harmony and syncopation. You know, harmony is like when 2 notes come together to form a chord.
I like it.
Syncopation is like when 2 rhythms come together to form a beat.
Okay, so in essence, it's like 2 individuals, 2 totally different entities coming together, intertwining, and then ultimately becoming one.
Number 3, intimacy. So when you break that down to us, it simply means into me, see. It's a physical, emotional, and psychological closeness between partners. And this must be practiced and nurtured so that it can develop to a level of maturity.
And I know somebody's probably saying, what is mature intimacy? To us, it's the meaning of this. It's an understanding of yourself, your own desires, and then your partner's. All right, you guys are in for a treat. Our wonderful special guests are here, Mr. and Miss Tyrone James. Make some noise in the building, at the house, wherever you are. You don't want to miss this. Tyra and TJ, we're so happy you're here. Well, actually, we're here with you in Atlanta. Right. Come on, we in the A. Yes. All right. Guys, Mrs. Tyra, oh my goodness, so many wonderful things that she's done already, and she's looking like she's 21. You ain't gonna believe all the things she's done. She is a entrepreneur, just for a little bit, about 21 years. Okay, yeah, I know, and I said she looked like she's 21. This is in person, it ain't the camera, I know, God bless you. She's a mother, oh my goodness, a mother, entrepreneur, 6-time best-selling author. She's a life coach. Her and her wonderful husband, they do marital counseling together. And TJ, I'm not leaving you out, 4 decades as an educator. 4 decades. Also a coach, did a little coaching in the NBA. We ain't gonna tell all his business. I'll let him do that. But nonetheless, welcome. We're so glad. We're so glad that you guys are here.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Thank you so
We're
much.
excited. We're excited.
Want to talk about something that you guys have done in marital counseling that was, to me, I think it was revolutionary. Usually when you do marital counseling, it's one-on-one with a pastor, with a expert or something of that nature. But you guys, in your great wisdom, and in your beautiful love of 31 years, do it together. You do it together. Can you talk about that?
First thing that we started is I'm a transformational life coach. So we, at one point in our marriage, we went through a separation.
Oh, wow.
And so when we decided to get back together and to keep going, he says to me, I think it was day 2, he goes, God said we're going to be helping other couples. And I was like, you better hope we make it. It's day 2, we back together.
I don't even know if I like you right now.
Right, yeah.
Yes,
This
right.
is interesting because we did have a period where we decided that we did need to date and not just get back together. We really,
Wow.
It had been a year, and so we wanted to really make sure that we had taken the time for ourselves to grow.
Wow.
I'm worried about me, and I did me, and he did him, and so it was important that you really take the time to be thorough with it.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, my profession, I'm a transformational life coach. So we all of a sudden started getting people calling me and saying to you, can you help us? Like, we had one couple called like 15 minutes after she found out about his infidelity. I'm like, you called me?
Oh,
And she goes, yeah, I was led to call you. So, of course, we started, and I told my husband, I said, I think I want you to join me. I'm a coach, and I think what we need to do is coach people into being married and how to be married and how to recover and how to grow together. And like I said, I'm a coach, so that's what we decided to do. And we decided to be truly authentic and real and not lie about our journey.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that can help people when you aren't truthful. And
True,
so
true,
we
true.
decided to do marriage coaching. Like I said, I'm a coach, and that's what happened. And that was, oh God, so many years ago now. And it's been such a gift to be able to help someone to keep going.
Absolutely.
For me, when we went through our issues, it wasn't all the things that caused the separation. What hurt me more than anything is all the potential that God put in us, we were failing.
Oh, wow.
And with both of us together, that crushed my heart. And that's all we could offer to our daughter at the time was failure. And
wow.
I just knew on the inside we were so much bigger than that.
Wow.
And God created us to be just so much better than that.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that's what made me want to do it again this time.
Yeah.
Make sure I passed with flying colors.
Yeah.
So that's how the coaching came about. We decided to really help people and coach them and teach them how to communicate, like your tidbits, how to be honest, and how to create a life together, yet separate.
Yeah.
When you have a building, in the building you have foundational pillars, and they're
Absolutely.
never together. They're apart.
Yeah.
So you each have to have your own individual life.
Yeah. Truly, truly.
And be tuned in and tapped in and turned on about you. And like attracts like.
Yeah.
So if each person is doing that, like attracts like. So if he decided to go be and become amazing, and so did I, and that's why we're still sitting here.
Number 4, trust. Trust is the oxygen that every relationship needs. It's built on honesty, consistency, and reliability.
It's being able to convey your feelings without fear or judgment.
Yeah.
It's safety, security, and mutual respect in a relationship that cultivates over time.
Yeah. Truly, truly.
Number 5, honesty. It's just simply being truthful.
It's accountability. It's, taking ownership of your own actions. So what you got to do when you're being honest, you got to stand in it. Don't stand on business. I'm just playing. Stand in it. Yes, stand on business. Walk in it and live in it. Number 6, respect. This is valuing your partner's thoughts and their feelings. Now, it's easy for us to talk about what we bring to the table. Yeah, but you have to honor what not only you bring to the table, and I know some of our beautiful women are probably yelling, I'm the whole table. God bless your heart and all your parts. Nonetheless, it's honoring what you bring to the table and what your partner brings to the table in the relationship.
It's also not only that, but it's the act of refraining from demeaning, belittling, and controlling behavior.
I love it. That's our Tucker Tidbits.
I still remember like yesterday when I said to her that the Lord told me restoration.
Oh, wow.
And men, we are so prideful about what we do and how we do things.
You better be transparent.
I realized in order for a man to be delivered, he has to be vulnerable and open.
Wow.
And be honest with himself first. And so I realized in order for me to make this marriage work, I had to be that person.
Wow.
And I didn't realize how selfish that I was in our relationship, because a lot of times men, we think as we're providing, we're doing this, but what are you doing to really help your family? Because a lot of times what we do, we don't realize it affects more than just one person.
Yeah, that's good.
It's
That's
more
good.
than one person.
That is really
And
good.
then I realized that we had a beautiful daughter with Logan, and how can I let her down?
Yeah, shout out to Logan.
How could I let her down? And when we sat down at a dinner, this is priceless.
This is so funny.
So she said to me, write a letter.
No, he asked her to dinner.
Yeah, I asked her out for a date.
Okay.
And she said, I want you to make a list of the things that you want in our marriage to change and happen. I came with a script.
So let me set the stage.
She had a novel. My girl had.
This is the honest to God truth. This is what happened. He asked me out on a date, and we still weren't back together.
Okay.
Right.
And I actually had illegal separation documents to give him.
Oh, wow.
And so he's talking about going to dinner, and I'm talking about,
I'm going to get you these papers.
right.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay. And he said, so I told him, he said, please just give me a chance. Just, let's just get together. I said, okay, you write down your vision for your life and what you want, and I'm going to write down mine. And then let's just go to dinner and see.
Right.
So we get there. I got 10 pages. He has 1. I was like, I knew it. I knew it. And I was like, you have 1 page? And so this is honest to God's truth.
Yes.
And so he's looking at me. He goes, yeah, I have 1. And I said, okay. He goes, just hear it out though. So I read mine. And so his was a perfect summary of everything that I said. And I said, okay, so let's go from here. So let's just take it easy and slow and to be sure. And so when he read what I decided for my life and what I wanted and what I was going to be intentional about, a lot of times women pray for a husband, but I was praying to be a wife, a better wife, and it's just 2 totally different things. And so when he read it, he goes, I can be this man.
Oh, wow.
Please give me a chance. And I said,
Right.
My response was, it really doesn't matter if you this man or not, this is my husband, right?
Yeah.
And so I said, okay. And hand to God, about 2 years later, I was in my dining room cleaning, and God said, go get the paper. And I read the paper, and he was that man.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
And he was that man.
Right.
And so what made him, I told him, I said, our daughter is going to be attracted to the same type of man you are.
Ooh,
and if you want her to have something different, then you have to be different.
Right.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
so he, decided that he wanted her to see something amazing. And the same-sex parent is the most influential. Mm-hmm. So I also knew that my responsibility was to show her a strong woman who loves herself
Right.
and who has her own identity. And it was important to me and your identity is where I dent in this world.
Yes.
And I needed to make sure she saw that,
Yeah.
so that she would do the same thing. And that's, what happened. So we had dinner, and, kind of like the rest is history.
Beautiful.
But we've been still very mindful that you are an individual.
Yeah.
And you have to be an amazing person, your own self.
Yeah.
And requiring TJ to make me happy is giving him too much power. I'm giving my power away, and it's my responsibility.
Right.
So we don't try to make each other happy. We just make ourselves happy, and in return, I get to be with a happy person.
Yeah.
Right.
And so,
amazing and amazing. Just
yes,
together.
and
Powerful.
so we, when we coach married couples, we really set the foundation of, number one, liking each other and being friends. And TJ and I were never nasty to each other, even in our separation. We went to our pastor, and he was like, well, I don't know what to do. You guys aren't arguing and fighting and, and crying. And so what am I? I'm like, we already did that in the house. There's no need to come in here acting like that. And so we did. And he was like, well, don't tell anybody. And I was so turned off by that. And I was like, everybody already know. We're just telling you.
Right. Right.
You're the last one to know. And what I realized is that that's the exact reason why that people aren't comfortable with going, because you want to keep it hush hush, and some things need to be talked about.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that was just so we just decided just to be truthful about it, and here we are, and we're so grateful and thankful
Yes.
to God, that He restored our. So we really help other couples really define who they are,
Right.
and really get a whole vision for them, and get tuned in and tapped in, and turned on about them.
Right.
And then it's very easy to then coincide with someone else who is, the foundational stuff too, listening and supporting, and not only supporting, but being invested.
Right.
And that was the issue with us, that Chide has always been so supportive, but I'm like, you're not invested. I was invested in you and your career. He coached for 25 years, and he's taught school for 41 years. And I have been invested
Yes.
in him.
Yes.
So he said, you're right, and I need to be invested in you and your business. And I've had my own business since 2000. So it's been wonderful. I mean, honestly, sometimes I can't even believe I get to, this is what God created me to do.
Yeah. Amen.
And so we've had definitely our amazing highs, and also very, very lows. But at the end of the day, I say to myself, and I've said to other people, sometimes I look at them and go, I can't believe I get to be married to you.
Oh,
And then sometimes I look at them and go, I cannot believe I'm married to you.
yes.
But
Yes,
it goes
yes,
both
so
ways.
true.
So to sit up and say it doesn't is just not being honest, And I know he does the same, like, oh my God.
This sister right here.
Right.
Ooh-wee. Yes.
But I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else. He's such a nice guy.
Right.
Love journey.
Yes.
Yeah,
Nice
that's
guy.
a beautiful love journey.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Well, I just kind of want you guys to expound on this.
Yes.
I know when we're helping people and we're talking about relationship and things of that nature, the highs are always there. The highs is something that kind of make everybody high. It's what you live for. You live for the vacations, for the good times, for the family times, or whatever.
Yes.
It's the lows that really define your love for one another.
Yes.
It's the lows that really define what you really have down on the inside of you. It's I just, not even just in marriage, but in every aspect of life. It was when I was at low points that I really found out what I was made of, that I really found out what I'm capable of, what I really found out what I can do. So I just want you guys to kind of expound on that, because I think the lows is kind of, in our experience, what really helped other couples,
yes.
because then they find parallels to their situations and how they can take what you did to come up out of that thing,
Yeah.
and apply it to their life or their situation. And you know, you don't have to get specific, but just, you know, what did you do, or what measures did you put in place to kind of A, come out of the lows,
Right.
and B, ensure that you don't return in those spaces.
Right.
Oh, good.
I'll just share. That's a really good question.
Yeah. That's good.
I share from the male perspective. The first time we were separated, I had my apartment, and I sat in that apartment. I had 2 bedrooms because I wanted room for my daughter, and I sat there the first week, and I'm thinking like how quiet I could hear echoes, and just talking to myself about where I put us.
Oh,
You hear what I said? Us.
Yes.
wow.
Not me. I said us because it was a package deal.
Accountability. Wow. Ownership.
So the first thing I did, no lie, I went to find candles that smelled like my old home.
Oh, wow.
Crying in the store, trying to find these clean linen candles because I wanted my place to smell like our home.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And I made sure I found those, found them in every room. And still with that smell, it was not home.
It wasn't it.
It
Wasn't
wasn't
enough.
home because nobody's saying, TJ, go get this. TJ, what you doing? You know, I needed that sound. I needed her voice.
Yeah.
So I got the pillows like she had at the house, tried to make everything be like it was.
Oh, wow.
And I laid in there and bawled and bawled and bawled. It says, that was my low. That no matter what I did material-wise, I can never get that.
Yeah.
And that was my wake-up call. You can buy anything in the world, bruh. You can't have that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because that's not money.
That's not.
That's life-changing. And so, and just imagine that I would spend the rest of my life trying to buy things to replace this woman. I couldn't do it. And I was at my lows.
Wow.
No lie, true story. I would drive past her place, and I would sit in the car and wait till she went to bed at night when I saw the lights come off. And when her lights went off, then I would go home. I couldn't rest knowing that she's not where she needs to be. So I would be, she said, every night.
It's a little stalkerish.
Yes.
A little bit of stalker.
Yeah,
But I love
see,
it.
For months. For months now. It was a 6 months, wasn't it?
You were separated.
We were
6
separated
months?
twice.
Twice.
Once for 4 months and once for a year. So
Yes.
so the year, that's when he was doing it.
Oh, I couldn't
during
take
that
it.
time. And so this is what happened with the candles and the pillows. Here's the backstory. So he asked my daughter, "What's the smell? What's the name of the candles your mom?" Ask her. So Logan comes home. She had been with him for the weekend. She comes home. She goes, "Mom, Dad wants to know the name of the candles."
No,
I
she's
said-
going to tell it.
And I said, "Oh, tell him." "Oh no, that comes with us."
Yeah.
The name of that.
Yeah.
So he kept searching it till he, I guess got a scent that was similar. But it was so funny when she came home and asked. And so he asked me during that time, "Weren't you in there crying?" I go, "Oh no, I wasn't."
Yeah.
I said, "I wasn't crying. I wasn't thinking about you. I was thinking about me and what I needed to do. I cried in the house. Did you forget?" So when I left, I was good.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'm
this
all
is what I-
cried out. So
I'm all
what
cried out, I know.
systems, what system or systems,
Yes.
give us one system that you have in place now that would prevent you guys going back to that place that my baby just said, my love just said was a low for you.
That was, that was probably the lowest, I would say the lowest. The system that we decided is that we will never stop growing. I think not growing is the greatest sin. So we have vowed that we grow daily.
Yeah.
First with ourselves and then with each other. And that's our system, and that we work at it. And if it doesn't add or multiply to our life, it doesn't belong in our life. And that's our
love
bottom
That's
line.
great.
I
Yeah.
love it.
And it's about the positivity. I mean, I wake up ready to roll in the morning
On 10.
on 10.
What up? Let's go.
This is me all day, every day. And
On 10.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I always make sure we never go to bed at night without saying I love you.
Oh, so
We
sweet.
never go to bed at night without the kitchen clean at night.
Okay.
House
Come
rules.
on.
House
Come on.
rules.
House rules.
And I never leave the house without saying to her, have a nice day. The choice is yours.
Oh, wow.
Every day. Because she gets to choose that.
Oh, wow.
I'll call her every day to say I love you. I just
So
want to hear your voice.
loving.
Every day, I'll call her.
Oh, wow.
Just for a quick moment. Just
I
to hear
hope
her
y'all
voice.
hearing this. I hope y'all hearing this every day.
Every day.
It makes a difference.
Every
Positive affirmations,
Yeah.
speaking positively about yourself, having that time for each other so that you're growing and you're actively invested and involved in each other's life. And it's
Right.
just not lip service, but it's something that you're actually doing.
Right.
I think the greatest lesson, and I want to share with everybody that I learned during that time, is I read the 4 love languages, and what I learned is that it's not important for me to love TJ how I want to love TJ. I have to love TJ according to what his, and that's a huge sacrifice
Yes.
because most people want to love you the way they want to love you.
Yeah.
And it takes time and effort and to be thoughtful and intentional to do that. Because if your love language is time and I never spend time with you, you won't perceive it or receive it as love,
Right.
no matter what I do. And so that's important. And not only in marriage, in friendship with our children, I had to learn my daughter's love language and love her the way she needs to be loved,
Yeah.
not the way I want to love her.
Yeah.
And I think that was huge in our relationship, is that we decided to love each other the way we both needed to be loved.
Two things, and we're going to let these lovely people go, and we're going to let you guys go because we want you to come back. One, it is like a pandemic. It's epic how we see so many couples that have been married 20, 25 years.
Yes.
And they call it quits. I don't know.
That's rough.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So you guys again have been married 31 years.
Yes.
31
Yes.
years. So TJ, tell me some tips that we can give our people. That's hey, this gonna keep you together.
I'm going to tell you something. My mom told me this, and I've never forgotten it. She said, it's those little things are bigger than the big things. So whatever you did to date Tyra, those little things matter more than anything.
The detail.
And so I make sure I do the little things. Her love language is acts of service. She likes when her brother cleans up,
Oh, come on.
has responsibility around the home.
Come on.
So I make sure she don't have to do nothing. If she cooks, I'm cleaning up, everything's back in order.
Oh, so sweet.
I know if she likes this house to be a certain way, she ain't ever got to say nothing to me. T, it's a done deal.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see.
I
honey,
don't
it's
hesitate.
out of a magazine.
It's really just teamwork.
Better homes
It's
than gardens.
togetherness,
Teamwork.
but
Teamwork.
I realize those little things matter more than anything in the world. And I just continue to date her. You know, when we go out, people
They
think
know
that
purpose.
people think it's our first. I tell people it's our first day. I'm trying to, hook up with this girl, to see if she gonna get my second date. And
Can y'all help me out?
yeah,
Come
most
on,
of the
help me
time
out.
the waitress go like, "For real? Oh
my
my God, you
God.
guys are getting along so well too." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm trying to get that second date."
Yeah.
So I do the little things that has
So
really
sweet.
keep us going.
Yeah, so sweet. All right, here's number 2. And Tyra, you start with this, if you would. Now, we have a debate all the time. He likes to debate me. I don't know why, but he does. He does this to me. He likes to debate that men love harder than women. What do you think?
Let me think about that.
While you're thinking, can you give us that perspective? Because he keeps giving
So-
it to me. Share
Okay,
with
go
them.
ahead.
My perspective on that is this. When a man falls in love with a woman, there's almost like a weight that's on. It's like, oh man, I love her. Now everything is about to change because I love her. and I can't see a life without her. In my experience with women, it's more, you guys have your lives planned out.
Yes.
By 30, I want to have this. By 35, I want to do. I want to be married by this time. And it's just like, insert the guy. And whatever he's not, or I'll work on that. I'll change that. I'll do. And it's and with men, it's kind of different because of that. I feel that women are kind of more interchangeable with whoever that is. Men are kind of like, I can't live without that one right there. And because of it, it's like a weight on me. I got, my whole life is about to change. And that's just my perspective on it.
Side eye, shady palm trees
So,
to him.
Here's my take on it. I think number one, when a man has decided to be vulnerable and say, you know what, I love her. Men look how women can fit in their life.
Absolutely.
And women, when we fall in love, we're just open, right? And very quick and not afraid to say that. I think for a man to then come to the realization that, hey, I love this woman and I want her in my life, it just takes you all a little longer to say it. So it might feel that you love harder because it took you longer to say it. But for a woman, we don't mind saying, I love you. I actually told TJ I love him maybe 2 weeks. But tell them what I said to you.
About knowing that the fact that she knew she was going to marry me.
In
She knew
2
that.
weeks?
Well, I knew I was going to
She
marry
knew
him
that.
right away. God told me I would marry TJ right away. And he was in another relationship. And so I didn't care. One of my friends was cracking up. She's like, he don't want you. He has a whole other woman. And I said, well, it don't matter. God told me I'm going to marry him. So I didn't even think nothing of it. But when I told TJ that I love him, I said, I love you. And I'm telling you that I love you, but I'm not telling you that I love you for you to tell me
Right.
that you love me.
Right.
And it's okay if you don't love me.
Okay.
I love you because I want to love you. And I didn't try to hide that I loved him. Wow. And then I told him, so a little bit later on, we went on a date and I told him, I said, God told me I'm going to marry you. And he didn't call me no more.
That's what,
That's heavy.
Right.
yeah.
Right? That's
If
That
you
was-
haven't caught on, we're all Christians. So
Yeah,
yeah, we're not spooky, crazy people.
Right,
We
and
just
so
love God.
but it was okay. I was fine with that, you know. And I just knew that, and it didn't even bother me that he didn't know it yet. And
Wow.
so I just think that men, it takes them a long time to be honest
Right.
about, you know, that they really love this one and to let any other one go.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they may feel that they're so vulnerable, that it's so deep and heavy.
Yeah,
It just
yeah.
took you longer to be honest
Yeah.
with yourself about. You knew right away.
Yeah, he knew.
You knew.
He already knew I was the
I
one.
mean, I knew right away.
Yes.
But I just feel with women it's more.
Now I will say
mean,
that
I
it's,
love you, but
know.
I can love him too if you keep acting up.
Right.
right.
Men are like that.
Yeah.
Men are like that.
Yeah.
It's like I love you.
Well, that's the
Side-eye,
difference.
shady
You know,
palm
what-
tree.
Listen,
Side-eye,
that's
shady
the
palm
difference
tree.
that, you know, men can be in relationships and not really love, you know.
Yeah.
Women are different. We
Yes.
tend to, you know,
There's an emotional attack.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
connect.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
we don't have a lot of.
Yes, you said it best in your theory on men loving harder than women has been debunked. We've established that here.
no.
We've
He's
established that
entitled
here.
to it.
We've
He's
established
entitled
that.
to it,
Thank
but
you.
right.
These
He's
are our
entitled to it.
experts. Come on. You cannot deny what the experts have said. Yes, that has been debunked.
Well, I
Thank
think
you so kindly.
their whole thought process on love and that, and even forgiveness. I think that women forgive quicker than a man. A man,
absolutely.
you can do the same thing and he won't forgive you.
Yes.
And he will move on, whereas a woman will, you know, be much more nurturing
Right.
and
No,
forgiving.
that I do believe.
Yeah, we got that stick and
Yeah.
stay. We got that stick
Yeah,
and stay.
right.
Yeah.
I believe I'm with her on that.
Wow. Wow.
love
He's
it.
agreeing.
I love it.
Yeah.
He has a
Yeah.
spirit of agreement upon
I
him.
love it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord.
Nice.
Oh,
Thank you guys so much
so
for your
welcome.
time, for
Yes.
your gift of
Yes.
relationships, being an expert in so many fields, entrepreneurship. You guys are parents of a beautiful
Yes.
baby. Well, she's not a
She's
baby anymore.
28.
She's 28
Yeah.
forever. Listen, to anybody that's watching us, know when you become a parent, you're a parent for
you're
life.
forever.
Yes.
They're your
That's it,
children
baby,
forever. So don't think because they're 18, they're gone. No,
Right.
you guys are parents,
Yes.
entrepreneurs, wonderful careers.
Thank you.
Yeah, and beautiful people inside and out. Thank you
you so
again for allowing us to be here.
Yes.
In the A, Better Homes and Gardens. That's what I'd like to say. I'm putting them up for an award. Yes.
Yes.
One more time, people, give it up for Mr. and Mrs. Tyrone James.
Thank you so much. Thank you all so much.
Appreciate y'all. Love you.
Thank you all.